There is a reason why the gap between the wealthy and everyone else keeps growing wider with every passing decade. It is not luck, it is not talent, and it is certainly not working harder than everyone else. The truth is far more deliberate than most people are willing to admit. The rich operate by an entirely different set of rules, rules that are rarely taught in schools, rarely discussed in mainstream media, and almost never shared openly with the general public. These are not conspiracy theories or exaggerations. These are real, documented strategies that have been quietly passed down through generations of wealthy families, elite business circles, and financial insiders. The moment you understand these secrets, you begin to see the world of money in a completely different light. And once you see it, you cannot unsee it. The first secret is one of the most fundamental differences between the wealthy and everyone else. Rich people buy assets first and luxuries last. The average person receives their paycheck and immediately spends it on things that lose value: cars, clothes, gadgets, dining out. The wealthy, however, redirect that same money into assets that generate more money. Real estate, stocks, businesses, intellectual property. These are the vehicles that create ongoing income without requiring constant labor. The luxury lifestyle you see on social media is almost always purchased after the asset has already started producing returns. The mansion, the yacht, the designer wardrobe, those come after the income stream is secured. Most people do it backwards, spending first and hoping to save what is left. The wealthy save and invest first and spend only what remains. The second secret will challenge everything you were taught about debt. While most people are told to avoid debt at all costs, the wealthy use debt strategically to build more wealth. This is called leverage. When a wealthy investor borrows money at a low interest rate to purchase a property that generates a higher return, they are essentially using the bank's money to make themselves richer. They understand the difference between bad debt, which is borrowing to consume, and good debt, which is borrowing to produce. Credit card debt used to buy groceries is bad debt. A business loan used to expand a profitable operation is good debt. The rich are not afraid of debt. They are afraid of unproductive debt. Understanding this distinction is one of the most powerful financial shifts a person can make. The third secret is deceptively simple but almost universally ignored. Before paying any bill, any expense, or any obligation, wealthy individuals pay themselves first. This means setting aside a fixed percentage of every dollar earned and directing it immediately into savings or investments before anything else is touched. Most people treat savings as what is left over after expenses. The wealthy treat savings as the first and most non-negotiable expense of all. This habit, practiced consistently over years and decades, creates a compounding effect that quietly builds enormous wealth in the background while life continues as normal. It requires discipline in the beginning, but over time it becomes automatic. The amount matters less than the consistency. Even a small percentage, committed to without exception, transforms financial outcomes over a lifetime. The fourth secret is one that generates the most frustration once people truly understand it. The tax code in most countries is not written equally. It is written with provisions, loopholes, and incentives that disproportionately benefit business owners and investors over employees. The wealthy know this, and they structure their financial lives accordingly. They form corporations, hold assets in trusts, maximize depreciation on real estate, and take advantage of capital gains rates that are significantly lower than ordinary income tax rates. A salaried employee often pays a higher effective tax rate than a billionaire who earns the same amount through investments. This is not accidental. The wealthy have historically had significant influence over tax legislation, and they have used that influence to protect their financial interests. Learning even the basics of tax strategy can save thousands of dollars every single year. The fifth secret is that wealthy people almost never rely on a single source of income. Studies consistently show that the majority of millionaires have at least 7 different income streams. These include earned income from work, rental income from property, dividend income from stocks, business income from ventures they own, royalty income from creative or intellectual work, interest income from lending, and capital gains from selling appreciated assets. Each stream acts as a financial safety net for the others. If one dries up, the others continue to flow. The average person depends entirely on one paycheck, which means a single job loss can be financially catastrophic. Building even a second or third income stream, no matter how small at first, fundamentally changes a person's financial resilience and long-term trajectory. The 6th secret is that the wealthy treat self-investment as the highest return investment available. Books, courses, mentors, coaches, seminars, masterminds. The rich spend aggressively on expanding their knowledge, skills, and networks. Warren Buffett has famously said that the best investment anyone can make is in themselves. While the average person hesitates to spend $200 on a course that could change their career, a wealthy entrepreneur spends tens of thousands without hesitation on education and personal development. They understand that knowledge compounds just like money does. Every new skill, every new connection, every new insight opens doors that were previously invisible. The return on self-investment is not always immediate, but over time it consistently outperforms almost every other asset class available. The 7th secret is about time horizon. The wealthy think in decades. The average person thinks in weeks or months. This difference in perspective changes every financial decision. A wealthy investor who buys a stock does not panic when it drops 20% in a month. They understand that over 10 or 20 years, quality assets almost always appreciate significantly. They plant trees whose shade they may not sit under for years. They build businesses that may not profit for the first 3 years, but generate extraordinary returns in years 7 through 20. This long-term thinking also applies to relationships, reputation, and personal development. The rich are willing to delay gratification for extended periods because they understand that compounding, whether in money, skills, or relationships, requires time to produce its most powerful results. The 8th secret is about environment and association. The wealthy are extraordinarily deliberate about who they spend their time with. They seek out people who are more successful, more knowledgeable, and more ambitious than themselves. They join exclusive clubs, attend high-level conferences, and cultivate relationships with individuals who challenge and elevate them. This is not snobbery, it is strategy. Research consistently shows that income and mindset are heavily influenced by the 5 people a person spends the most time with. The wealthy understand that proximity to success accelerates success. They also understand that negative, limiting, or scarcity-minded people are a drain on energy and ambition. Protecting your inner circle is not selfish. It is one of the most important decisions you can make for your financial and personal future. The 9th secret is mindset. The wealthy genuinely believe that money is abundant, that opportunities are everywhere, and that wealth is a natural result of providing value to others. They do not see money as scarce or morally complicated. They see it as a tool, and they pursue it without guilt or hesitation. This abundance mindset allows them to take risks, recover from failures, and persist through setbacks that would stop most people permanently. The 10th and final secret is systems. Rich people do not rely on willpower or motivation. They build systems, automatic investments, scheduled reviews, structured routines, that make wealth building happen regardless of how they feel on any given day. Motivation fades. Systems endure. Together, mindset and systems form the invisible architecture that supports every other secret on this list. These 10 principles are not reserved for the privileged few. They are available to anyone willing to learn, apply, and commit to a different way of thinking about money, time, and opportunity.